Hello everyone and welcome to our training cohort. You're going to get to do a lot of your training online before you come to our in-person sessions. So each week you'll complete a module online and you'll need to do that ahead of time, so ahead of when you come to the in-person session. We usually ask that all trainees do the online modules at least a day prior to the in-person session. So if your in-person session is on Thursday evenings, please do your best to try and have the online modules completed by the day before, Wednesday at noon. This will give your peers enough time to review what you've written, review the work that you've done, and then you can engage in meaningful dialogue to help prepare for class. So in order to access our online classroom, we use Google as a platform. You all should have an invitation in your Gmail account. If you have a personal Gmail account, it might be in there. You also might have been assigned a CASA email. So whichever that is, your CASA supervisor or the staff person from your program will help get you set up, but you should have an email invitation waiting for you that looks something like this. So what you'll do is click Join. And here you can say it's asking you to confirm that you've been invited to join this pre-service class. It'll tell you how you're signed in. This is my personal Gmail account that I'm using to show this to you today. Sometimes when you're joining in for the first time, it does take just a moment to load. But here you're going to confirm that this is you. You're joining as a student. This is our landing page for this cohort's pre-service training. The first thing that we like for everyone to do, if you don't already have a photo in here, we'd like you to come up and you'll click here, it'll be your initial. You're just going to click change and then add a photo of yourself in there. This makes it a lot easier for, especially when our training cohorts are pretty large, for your classmates to be able to recognize you. So you can see there's a picture I've just taken with my webcam, and I'm going to set that as my profile picture. That'll help us kind of remember as we're moving between training and the online portions, you know, who you are. And it does take a few minutes for that to change up there. This is your landing page. This is actually the class stream. So this is kind of to get a quick glance of what's going on right now or the most recent information in the class. If you had due dates coming up really soon, they'd be here in this left-handed sidebar. Where I think you're going to be doing most of your work and spending most of your time is under the classwork tab. So you can see here we're all ready for our first classroom session next week. And here's Module 1. Here are all of the pre-work assignments that you'll need to complete by the day before of your in-person session. So for this particular cohort, that would be next Wednesday at noon. So you can see here, here's your module. Up here is general information. This is where we'll be posting important resources that might be useful to you. Things like the Ohio CASA website, the National CASA website, local program websites, other important material that will just kind of stay static that you can go back to and access anytime you need. So what I suggest is each module just work from top to bottom and work through each assignment. So here in Module 1, an example, the first assignment is just simply an introduction post. So in this one, you'll see the prompt here. Here it asks some questions about CASA and about your motivation of joining CASA, and you're just going to answer the question. So here you'll type in your answer, and I'm just going to write, I'm excited to learn with all of you. And then I'm going to click Turn In. And once I turn that in, you can see here, I'm going to turn it in. And once I turn that in, I will then be able to see all of my classmates' answers. So if this were the class we're actually moving on and other folks had completed assignments already, I'd be able to see this whole list of them here, and then I could respond to anyone that I wanted to. And then I go back to my answer. I'd also, if I'm interested, I can also add a class comment. So in this one, I could say, hey everybody, and then everyone in the class would see that comment. So, and then other folks could respond there. So that's the first assignment. To get back, all I need to do is click up here on the heading, go back into classwork, and there I've completed assignment 1, module 1. And then I could go on. Some of the other ones are assignments where it's going to ask me to review things. So in this one, the CASA Crash Course, it's going to ask that I review each of these links. So you can just click on them and it'll open a new tab, and then you can review the information there. I'm going to click on View Assignment because that gives me my prompt. Oh, here it's giving me some instructions. So once I've done this, This is just simply things that to review. There's no real prompt here. All you need to do is say that you've done it. So just mark that as done, and then click Mark as Done. And that'll tell us that you've completed that learning activity. And then I'm going to go back and review the rest of my modules. I can minimize those anytime. This is a unique type of assignment. This is the CASA Competencies self-assessment. I'm going to view assignment. And what it's asking me to do is actually complete a self-test. So I'm going to go into this Google form and I would answer the questions. So if the class were live, you would see lots of questions on here, and I just click Submit at the end. And then of course I would mark as done. Then I'll go back. I'm going to show you one more type of assignment. So here's another one where it asks us to review the information. So I click on this link and then review the document there. This one in particular is really interesting. It's about the history of child welfare in America. So I'm going to review the attached document, and then I'm going to add at least one question and at least one new thing that I learned in this section. So in this one, I would actually answer those right here. So I would just say, I learned a lot, and then I'm going to turn that in. And then once everyone else starts responding, then I can see everybody else's answers here. And then I'll go back out. So each week, noon on Thursday is when we'll release the module for the following week. So as we move through the course, eventually you'll see Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, and Module 5 down there. You can also click here and see everybody that's in your class. But this is the basics of the Google Classroom. You'll see in the stream we might post announcements, so here's kind of a welcome announcement that you can see. But most of the work that you're going to be doing is here in these modules. If you have any trouble at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to either the staff here at Athens or the staff at your local program, and we can help troubleshoot right away. Definitely don't wait until the in-person session to let us know that you've had a technical issue accessing Google Classroom. Please reach out to us ahead of time. Participating in the online portions before class is critical. Each in-person session revolves around case studies, so we really rely on you to complete the work ahead of time so that you're adequately prepared to engage in the case studies with us. So if you have any trouble, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, we look forward to learning with you.